Hey everyone! So it has been my experience that when I'm about to do somebody's makeup, either just to play around or if they have like a date or prom or something like that, I ask them what kind of eyes they want me to do and they're always like, the smoky eye. And you know, the smoky eye is like super classic and sultry and like, I don't know, sexy and stuff like that. So it is something we tend to gravitate towards. And according to Cosmo, there has been research done that says that men are attracted more to a woman when her eyelids are a darker shade than the rest of her face. Now, Cosmo didn't give any like references because believe me, I looked. So if they were writing a paper, say for college, they would have failed, which is a little disappointing to me. But apparently, I don't know, they were just reporting on some study that they had read. I'm sorry, I couldn't verify that for you. I would have loved to, but I couldn't. So anyway, a lot of people get really tripped up and think like there's no way that they could do like a really nice good looking smoky eye on themselves, but you totally can, and it's super simple and quick. There are a couple of things to keep in mind when you're doing this. You know, color wise, you can really take any colors that you want to as long as they're deep and rich and lovely and put them on your eyes and make a smoky eye out of it. But you know, if you're thinking a little bit more like what's going to be the most flattering for me, kind of take your eye color into account. Now personally, I love when people with really dark eyes do like a really kind of like black around the rims and then like brown and smoke it out. Like Penelope Cruz does that a lot, and I think it's probably my favorite smoky eye look ever. For me, I like to use kind of like red based browns. So I'll show you a couple of them that I like, but it really makes my green eyes pop. However, if you have really like naturally red eyes, like veiny and hungovery, sleepy, whatever, the red base colors are probably not going to be your best friend. Somebody with like blue eyes, the black will really make your blue eyes stand out really vibrantly. There are a couple of different colors you can play with that will also kind of bring out the blues in your eyes, such as like golds and like kind of browns on like the lighter orangey kind of yellowy side that will look like really pretty for a smoky eye for you. So today I'm going to go with my green eyes and do like a brown based smoky eye. So yeah, anyway, that's what the tutorial is going to be on, so stay tuned if you are interested in that. Okay, so I already kind of prepped my eye area with a little Too Faced shadow insurance, and before we get started on adding any color, I'm going to take just like a fluffy brush, kind of flat, and go in with the color Chamomile, which is kind of like a skin tone color. It has a little bit of a sheen. It's a satin. It was from the Warm and Cozy collection. You could really use any highlight color that you want to. Most of the colors we're going to be using are going to be matte colors, so this has like a little bit of a shinier kind of shimmery finish, so that's fine. So really any highlight color that you want to use will be perfect. And again, you just kind of put it at like the highest point of your brow and then like blend it out. Okay, so from there I'm going to be using a paint pot to kind of create a base for my smoky eye, and the color is Quite Natural. It looks like this. It's a very kind of like chestnutty, milk chocolatey brown, which I've kind of destroyed already. But you can totally use your finger to do this. You can use some sort of brush to do this. I'm going to use a brush because I find that it leaves a nicer, like kind of cleaner finish around the edges. So I'm going to use a 217. And I'm just going to kind of lightly brush it on and smooth it out. I also find I kind of waste a lot less product if I use a brush for this. So, okay, and then I'm just going to kind of smudge the edges out a little bit more with my fingers. Make sure there's no harsh lines. You really don't want any harsh lines for a smoky eye, so that's very important. And then kind of go in with a smaller brush with the Quite Natural for underneath the lashes. I think that adding color underneath your lower lashes is kind of what makes a smoky eye smoky eye. I'm going to go in with the color Saddle, which is kind of like a dusty yellowy orange brown, which would look really nice on anybody with like blue eyes or anybody with blue in their eyes. It would look nice on anyone though. So I'm going to take this with my little flat shader brush and just kind of pop it all over my lid, which any of those red based colors are going to look really pretty on my green eyes, so that's why I'm using this. And then I'm going to smudge a little bit under here at the beginning and then at the end, just for a little bit more color. Alright, Then I'm going to take a 222 brush, which is a tapered blending brush. It looks like this. It's dirty because I just did my other eye, but I'm going to go in with the color Brown Script, which is a very red brown. I'll show it next to the saddle color so you can see like how much more of a red it is. It's like a clay brown color. So I'm just going to take that on the tip of this brush and apply it in my crease right under here, underneath my lower lashes. Bring it up and over, and then I'm also going to apply it right in here. So you can already see how the red kind of makes the green in my eyes stand out a lot. I'm going to take a 224 brush, and this is just like a clean blending brush by M.A.C, and I'm going to start blending out all these edges. I can't really see any harsh lines. So what I'm going to do from there is take a liner, and this is the color Raven. It was in the some sort of collection that came out in January. I don't know. But I got it because I'm in love with feline, and it was kind of there with feline. But it is a black with red sparkles. I don't know if you can see, but it kind of has the same effect as Beauty Marked if you have that, where the red doesn't show up so much as the black does, but it does leave behind like a hint of red, so it's really pretty. So what I'm doing right now is lining my waterline just by pulling down on my skin and coloring that in. And you can do the same tight lining. Lashes up. I know this is really gross. You don't have to watch this part, obviously. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is also smudge it right on top of my lashes in the lash line. So I want to dig into my lash line and make my lashes look a lot thicker, but then I also want to extend it up because this is what we're going to use to smoke out our eye. And then I'm going to be using a smudger brush. And before I kind of get to smudging that out, I'm going to seal the color that I have on my inner rims by using the Brown Script again because it's a red base color and it will look really nice on my eyes, and just patting it down on top of the Raven. Alright, you can do that to the top too. Just kind of blink down on it. If you don't like touching your eyes, this may not be a good way to do this for you, but if you do have any color kind of like in your waterline, you really do want to make sure you seal it, otherwise it's just gonna all disappear within minutes. So again, I'm taking the smudger brush now, which I kind of cleaned off a little bit, and I'm just gonna start pulling this color up a little bit by tapping down right at the edge of the line and bringing it up. And then at the edge of that, where I brought it up to, I'm going to tap it down again and keep pulling it up. Okay, and then I'm going to take the 222 again with a little bit more of the Brown Script and put it right on top of the line that I kind of smoked the Raven out to. Alright, see that? And then I'm just going to pull it down. And then I'm going to take the 224 again. Keep blending. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in a little bit and apply a little bit more Raven just to smoke this out a little bit more. Alright, now I'm going to add my mascara, and I'm using the Colossal Volume thing by Maybelline. Get the lower lashes. So yeah, that's the smoky eye. So I'm going to zoom out so you get a better look. Alright, so that is your smoky eye. I hope it's not too dramatic for you. If it is, don't worry about it. It's a little dramatic for me, actually. So, but yeah, you can see kind of how like the red shades and stuff really make my green eyes stand out. So I hope that you find colors that are really suitable for your eyes. I think this would also look really pretty on brown or blue eyes. So, yeah, I hope you give it a try, and I will talk to you later. Bye.